Hi everyone, it's Marcy Denning here from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I sell all of the fabulous Stampin' Up! Products that I share with you. I am so sorry I did not give you a heads up that I was going to be going live this morning. I did not get to my Thursday regular Facebook Live. My hubby and I scooted up to our cottage to cut some grass. We left Wednesday night. He had booked Thursday off. He texted me after lunch on Wednesday to say that let's head up tonight to go cut grass because it's going to rain all weekend. So that's what we did. So I thought, well, I already had this project prepared and I don't like to miss a week with you guys. So I thought, well, you know what? Yesterday we got home last night and I was busy because I was in the midst of preparing for my holiday head start next Saturday. So I had left my craft room in absolute disaster. So last night I had to clean up. I couldn't do anything in here until I got some of my stuff cleaned up. So as always, please say hello when you stop by. I love to hear from you. Sharing is caring. Please share my video. It is how I reach more crafty friends, teammates, customers, anybody that enjoys paper crafting. So today I have a super fun project for you. I'm calling it the Monster Bash Designer Series Paper Treat Bag. I went searching on the internet for a large treat bag and I couldn't find one. I am not a 3D bag box maker. I do struggle with that. I know that Angie Judah over at Chicken Scratch and Erica Serwin at Pink Buckaroo, as well as Sam Donald at Poodle's Paper Craft, are amazing box makers. But I needed one a little bit bigger because this is what I put in mine. How fun is that? A little can of Shimmering Bubbles Dry Rosé Wine. I dropped my can, so there's a little ding there. But anyways, instead of trick or treat, trick or drink is what I was thinking. You know how you go to Halloween parties, get together with your friends? So wouldn't this be a fun little hostess gift? And then I've used the the Spooktacular Bash. This is what I've used, the Spooktacular Bash stamp set. So glad we're such ghoul friends. And then the Ornate Frames dies. I use that for my label and this gorgeous die here. It is in the Halloween suite, but you know what? You could use this for so many different things. So think of Christmas host gifts. If you're going to any Christmas gatherings as well, you could easily sub this out for Christmas designer series paper. So anyway, the products I used can be found here on page 54 of the holiday catalog. If you live in Canada and you do not have one of these and you would like one, please send me a message. I would love to get one sent off to you. So Monster Bash Suite is on page 52 to 54. So I'm using the basic black. I'm hoping that this basic black 3/8 inch scalloped edged ribbon. And then the Monster Bash Designer Series paper here. My paper is a lot. There are a couple pieces of full, but mostly I've been having so much fun, so it's really cut down. And then, of course, here is the stamp set, and then the frames are over here on this page. So when you bundle together, you save 10%. So the stamp set and frames bundled together are $65.50. The frames by themselves are $46, and the stamp set by itself is $27. But I always like to buy my products in a bundle if that's the way they come. So all of the measurements and product links will be on my blog. About an hour after the video is done, I'm going to immediately download this video and then go and upload it to my YouTube channel. Then I will insert it into my blog post, so you'll be able to get all of the measurements off of that. So let me just adjust my stuff here. So to create this box, what I did first is I took a piece of printer paper, and I've got another can here, and I just measured how wide it was. So it's about 2 inches wide, and it is almost 5 1/4 inches tall. So I took my Simply Scored scoring tool with a piece of printer paper, and I measured it out and just scored it to what I thought the dimensions should be. So all of these dimensions will be on my blog, like I said, in about an hour after we're done here. So let's bring in my Simply Scored scoring tool. All right, so that you can see. So we are going to start. As you can see, I have all of my measurements marked off here. So we're going to start on the 8 1/4. This piece is an 8 1/2 by 11, but I have taken a 1/4 inch off so that my tab is a little bit smaller. I didn't want quite such a big tab. So take your scoring board, and at 2 1/2, and then you're going to rotate it. This is the bottom. So then we're going to score at 2 1/2, 5, 7 1/2, and 10. And this is that flap here. So, all right. So let's get that out of the way. Now I need my bone folder, and I am going to, I know it's black cardstock, so it's harder to see. So I'm going to fold on all of my score lines and burnish so that you've got a nice crisp fold there. And there. Okay. Now get my paper snips here, and let's go over it one more time with my hand here. All right. So I am going to, you do not need this piece, so I'm going to cut up here. And snip that off, and then I'm going to angle cut this tab. Doesn't have to be perfect or match, as it's going to be on the inside of your box. Then I'm going to, because this is the bottom of my box, I'm gonna snip these up. And like I said, I'm not a 3D bag box maker, so I was just winging it as to what I thought would work and hoped for the best. So it turned out just fine. Okay, so you're going to miter these edges here just so that you're just taking off. Whoops, that's a terrible snip there. Just so that you're taking off a little bit so that it folds in nicely. And I'm folding the ones that I'm done back so they're not in my way. Because I've got a can in here, I wanted to make sure that I had a sturdy enough base, so I've left all of them on. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in just a scrap piece of printer paper. I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to stamp my sentiment on my label here. So glad we're such ghoul friends. Flipping it over. And I hope, oh, that is terrible. Okay, let's flip that over, and I'm going to have to get closer here. Move it down a bit because I can't see. Let's hope that that's a little better. Yes, okay. So that is all the stamping we are doing. Now, move my Designer Series paper panels out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in my Delicata, my silvery shimmer ink, and I am sorry that this is on back order right now. And I have a sponge dauber, and it's well used. You can see it's fraying in that, but for what I am doing, it's fine. So I'm going to take, and I'm folding my edges back, and I'm just, you could put as much or as little on the edges. It's up to you. And even though this is going to be glued on the inside, I just want to go across this so that if anything is showing, it's going to still look good. Okay. So it is a very rainy morning today. We were actually supposed to be golfing right now. We're in a tournament. Brad and both Damon and Connor are boys on Monday, and I haven't golfed since summer holidays. Isn't that bad? I've just been too busy, and I'm a fair weather golfer, so I don't like to golf when it's cold or rainy. And I've had a lot on the go, but I said yes, I would golf this morning to get a round in before the tournament, and then Mother Nature had other plans. So instead, I was able to do my live this morning instead of going live this afternoon. And there's a craft show here in town that I want to pop over to. Your fingers are going to get rather inky with this, but that's okay. That just means you're having fun. And I'm just doing the base as well. And then I'm going to come around and do my top, that top edge. Guess I can put this down now so that it's easier. Okay, set that aside. I don't know if you can see if the camera's going to pick up all that silver that's on my hands. Now I'm going to take my label here, and actually I'm going to take my bone folder because this is the back side. I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit so it looks a little nicer, because I had to flip it around because I stamped so bad on that front piece. And I'm just going to sponge my edges. Okay, and now let's do this gorgeous ornate frame, just to give it some added dimension to it and make it sparkly. I do like my sparkle. All right. So I'm looking to see, nope. So I just did my edges here. I did not put any on my designer series paper, but you could totally do that if you chose to. Okay, so I'm going to bring my silicone craft sheet, some liquid glue, not a lot, as you can see. Stampin' Up! Announced that Purple Posy is back in stock. We haven't been able to purchase it because there was a quality control issue, so they took it out of the store, and we patiently waited for news that it was back, and we were told it was coming, and it is coming. So that is now available in my online store. The ink pad, the re-inker. I've been using the Purple Posy Stampin' Write marker from the In Color package of markers. So I've been creating with that color that way, but I think I cut this wrong. I think I need to have this just a smidge. I think I cut my designer series paper a little short. What can I say? It's Saturday morning. I can just take this down. Let me just, before I attach any more, I'm just going to come off camera. This is live, guys, so this is what happens. So I'm just going to take a smidge more off so it looks a bit better there. And I'll just re-sponge that. See, everybody makes little boo-boos. It's how you deal with them after the fact. Can I pull this up? No. So we're going to have to scooch you down. Just roll with it. Nobody, the recipient doesn't know that you messed up on your trimming. Okay, and one more. Isn't this bat side fun with this scripty writing? I love creating for Halloween. How about you guys? Do you do that? Okay, so now I'm just going to take there we go, and then I'm going to, where I lifted this up, I'm just going to take it, pull it back, and put a tiny little dot of glue to hold that down. Okay, now to assemble. So the way this is going to close up, we are going to fold these in like so. And then this is going to go in like that. So this flap here, meaning that this is the front of the box. So you want this flap here to be the last one to be folded over so that you don't have that open seam look there. So just remember that. And then to put the, before I assemble, I want to do this. To put my ribbon through, I am going to, this here is my one side. So I'm going to take my paper pierce mat. So this is a side, and this is a side. This side and the opposite here, because this is my front and this is my back. So I am going to all right. I'm going to measure over halfway. So this is 2.5. So half of that is 1 1/4, and I'm just going to eyeball that, and I'm going to put a hole there, and then bring this and I am right there down. So 1 1/4, and before I poke that, I'm just going to, yep, about there. So this is going to be where my handles are. My ribbon is going to go through here. Another use for your take your pick tool, your pokey doodle end there. Okay. Move that out of the way. And I'm going to fold this scrap over. So let's get gluing. All right. Now I just have to figure out what way I want this to close in. So if I just put glue on here and glue on here. And this is why my silicone craft sheet should be underneath me because I just got glue on that piece. And then come on. Okay. Let's pull that silicone craft sheet back underneath so I don't get glue anywhere else. All right, so I am going to fold all of these in just like that. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but this is the way I'm doing it. It's my box, and I can put it together any way I want. There's no right or wrong when you're creating something, in my opinion. So I'm just going to see that my entire hand, now I do have small hands, fits inside that, so I can just push that down to secure that glue. And as you can see, here's my 2 holes for my ribbon. Now we're going to use our black dimensionals here on the back. So 3 of these black Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, and I want this to be right about there. Okay, and now my ribbon, I want about, for my handle, I need about 12 inches. So I'm going to take my ruler here and I'm going to measure out 12 inches. So there we go. And to get this to thread through, I want to have an angled piece of the end. I want it to be angled, so I'm just going to squeeze that up and pull that through just like that. And then I'm going to pull it through a little bit more so that I can just knot that end. It doesn't have to be fancy, guys. Just work with what you've got. You don't have to add lots of extra. Okay, and then I want the scallop at the front, so I have made sure that I have turned it so that it's that way. And now I'm just going to and again pulling it out more so that I can knot the end. And like I said, you could use different designer series paper and cardstock for any occasion that you would be needing a fun bag / box this size. So now I'm going to take some of my rhinestones, and I want to go right here. I always put a dot of glue so that my rhinestones don't fall off. I don't want that to happen. So I've got take your pick and putting that rhinestone right above or right over top of that dab of glue, dot, whatever you want to call that. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. using the bit bigger ones because this is a busy pattern and I want you to be actually able to see it. And like I've shown you before, I like to use the clear stamp cases to hold my embellishments. That way I know everything is neat and tidy and in one spot. Okay, and the last thing is to take my other can. This is Bodacious Pinot Grigio, and this one here in this bag is Joy Shimmering Bubbles. So I just found this at my local liquor store. I just wanted some fun treat type of things to put in for a hostess gift. So here are my two boxes. Yeah, see, this is, I should have cut this down a little bit more, but that's okay. That is my project for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this later, please click the subscribe button at the bottom. Give me a thumbs up. Please share my video. Sharing is caring. And I will see you next time. Remember, this will be on my blog shortly. Bye for now.